Hello, I'm Thomas Middleton. I'm the state senator for Charles County, and I also chair the Senate Finance Committee. One of the toughest issues we've had to deal with in this legislative session was a very controversial bill that the governor put in that brings in $126 million of federal relief into our unemployment insurance trust fund, but in exchange it had a controversial piece to it, new benefits for the employees at the expense of the employer. And we heard very loud and clear from the business community they could not support the bill as it was introduced. Knowing how important the $126 million was for small businesses that are really struggling now, I worked with the administration to bring all parties together to see if we could not forge some type of a compromise so that in the end everybody would benefit. It took a long time to get there. We did a lot of negotiation throughout the process. We had to listen very carefully to both sides, what their needs were, both labor and the business community, as well as the representatives representing the working poor. One important ingredient was making sure that we had the right information, so we spent a lot of time. You know, we could not lose the credibility or have something that comes to the floor, went back to the committee, that didn't have the right numbers. So we dealt with it. It took a lot of back and forth. A very careful process was laid out to make sure that the representatives at the table were representing the folks that they stood for. So it was a lot of going back and forth. And I'm happy to say at the end of the day, we ended up with a win-win situation. And what brought us all together was a realization that we're all in this together. You know, though it may seem like it benefits the business community, what in fact happens when the business community doesn't have to lay off people, then labor benefits. To the extent that the businesses can hire people on unemployment, labor benefits. It was a very, very good win-win situation. Most everybody's on board. We're going to now take the bill to the committee where I think it's going to be very, very successful. I've met with the minority leader who's a member of my committee. He supports the bill 100%. And I think it's what the public expects when you have these difficult decisions, bring the parties together to see what everybody's concerns are and see if you can address them in a win-win situation. So I think it's a model process that worked well in this situation. I think it worked well in other situations similar to this.